I wanted to ask you guys about the quote from an Arizona Cardinal, Kelvin Beachum, on Kyler Murray. You may have seen that Robbie Anderson, who changed his name to Chosen, was waived by the Cardinals. And Kelvin Beachum says of his quarterback, when asked to give advice, he says it's not a leadership problem. He just says, and this is not the quote you want to hear associated with your quarterback, be a man and grow up.
Oh boy.
That's harsh. Is it not?
Like this is a thing with Kyler Murray, huh?
It's got to be, right? It has to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a him problem.
Junior Seau famously had a problem with Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf, back when the contracts made it so you couldn't just immediately eject on a total bust, just didn't respect that he didn't do anything in the way of preparation and walked in and thought his talent could crush while surrounded in a room of gladiators by willful men who also thought their talent could crush and need their quarterback to be a leader who is the most prepared person in their locker room. The Kyler Murray stuff, there's too much here for it not to be some sort of problem.
It just bleeds out into the public sphere so much with him that people care not about keeping it in the locker room with him.
I mean, the team put a clause in the contract we've never seen before. Spend more time studying, less time playing video games. Now, listen, you could question it all you want. There's a reason they put it in there. And Kyler agreed to it and signed it.
Not just that, it's histrionics on the playing field. There was like a game on Thursday night where he's just openly cursing out his head coach.
They had trouble getting a coach as well, and I don't know if you have young players. This guy, from a very early age, has been told how great he is. He had his choice between baseball and football. He made the unconventional choice of football, but could have made a ton of guaranteed money in baseball because he is such a special athlete. I don't know where the generational gulf between coaches and quarterbacks is going to make an appearance, but it's going to look something like that with young players that you keep giving power. He's got an enormous contract.
I think this is a generational gulf, or he's just unprofessional? Because you just cited Ryan Leaf. That wasn't a generational gulf. It was just unprofessional, admittedly.
I just think that there are going to be some guys coming into your system in the new crop from this generation of early 20-year-olds who aren't going to respect the work the way everyone else has. Respect the idea of work. Respect.
Yeah, you sound a bit like a boomer there. This isn't the millennials doing this. The previous generation, Johnny Manziel, Ryan Leaf, Jeff George. There have been immature quarterbacks as long as people have been desperate to find and fill that position. I don't think we're not getting a surplus of it right now. Kyler Murray is the guy who. No one else is really viewed at the way that Kyler Murray is.
I'm not saying that this is going to be everybody. I'm saying that this person has now knocked out a management team.
Right, but you were citing generational golf. He had one of the youngest head coaches in the league.
It's just because of video games. Youngest head coach in the league who's still got an 18-year age difference with this quarterback that he can't seem to reach, that you have another player saying of, be a man, grow up, which is not something I've seen very much said publicly with quotes and name attached to the quarterback of your team.
Right, I just don't think that this is going to be more of a thing. I think that this has always been a thing, and the device this time is with other quarterbacks. Sometimes it may be addiction. With him, it's not preparing. Either way, it all comes down to not being a professional.
Agreed, but Zach Wilson also falls in this class for me of just young person who doesn't treat the position the way that an old quarterback would treat the position. It stands to reason. I'm not
Taller
saying
quarterbacks respected the game.
I mean, he treats it fine, Dan. He doesn't play it well, but he treats the position fine.
Zach Wilson got in trouble at the end. Zach Wilson
got benched because of how he approached something.
He got benched for a typically millennial lack of accountability, whether I sound like a boomer or not.
Yeah, putting it on millennials does. Because it's not a millennial thing. It's sometimes people get put in. They are talented, super gifted. Yeah. And they don't necessarily look at Stugotz. He's a prime example. How many times does he prepare for this job? No, he's just one of the all-time greats.
Exactly.
It might be a short thing.
Thank you, Mike.
All fingers are pointing at Kyler Murray, too. You got a coach, gets an extension, gone. You got a GM, gets an extension, gone. All of a sudden, we're running out of people to blame.
Actually, I might not even have it right with millennial. I think these guys are younger than millennials. I don't believe they even
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Don't use those labels. It's not great. It just makes you sound old.
It
People
does.
of all ages suck. Let's just agree.
Yeah, because that's what Francesa was doing, blaming younger generations.
Yeah,
Don't be
Pope.
that guy.
Hope.
Kyler Murray. You guys have seen a
You know,
lot of
Jeff
this?
George's kid is at the University of Miami now. He walked on as a
Is that
wide
true?
as a quarterback. Yeah,
What?
yeah. Nobody has a Jeff George arm though. Nobody.
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 In the history of the league.
Nobody.
Seriously.
You don't think Josh Allen has a Jeff
Okay,
George arm?
maybe, no. Josh Allen kind of
I'm
has
not
it. And
certain, Mike.
Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, but Jeff George's arm was special. It still is.
You guys are right in correcting what it is that you're correcting there, but are you telling Kelvin Beachum that he has to change? Because he's telling him to grow up. He's telling
There's a
him
laundry list of people that have been telling Kyler Murray to grow up, both on his team, within that front office, within contract language, and on other teams. I'm really surprised at how out and open people's disdain is for Kyler Murray. It has to be him. I don't think that this is a misunderstood guy. There is something about his approach that rubs everybody the wrong way, coaches and fellow teammates alike.